Welcome to Lifeword's Day by Day. You know, several months ago I drove to Fort Smith to meet with a lifelong friend of mine, Mark Kincannon, who is a businessman and baseball coach at one of the high schools there in the city. And he was hosting a forum within the coaching community. So naturally, the venue was filled with all types of coaches from the area. In the process of that meeting, I ran across another baseball player against whom I used to compete. And I remember him being one of, if not the most disciplined baseball players that I knew. He graduated in 1995. He went on to play for a championship junior college baseball team. He went to play for the Razorbacks and then several years of professional baseball. And what I remember about him and how I try to principalize this is that discipline makes a difference. And we're going to see that very truth delivered to us with far greater stakes than baseball and trophies. So we're studying through 1 Corinthians, and we're in chapter 9, and we're right up to verse 24, where Paul says, "Do you not know?" That's a clever, bitey way of saying, hey, you guys who know so much, don't you know this? And then Paul brings to their minds a familiar athletic competition known as the Isthmian Games, where athletes would participate in races of all sorts, a competition that the Corinthians would have been very familiar with. And Paul compares that race to our lives. And the comparison is the discipline that is used to run the race and the reward that is given. And so what Paul is going to tell us is that exercising self-control makes us an effective witness who wins an eternal reward. You can't win the prize unless you compete, and you can't compete unless you prove your discipline. You can't win the prize unless you compete, which takes self-control. So too does our Christian life, and our witness require discipline, which is a fruit of the Spirit. And it's by the Spirit that we are to be walking day by day. When you pray today, please pray for Reina Costa El Haj and her family, our missionaries in Lebanon. And also remember the Haitian-French Lifeword broadcast that's heard in Haiti.